Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumararpanamastu. Today is another day, one more day, evening twilight, and by His gracious blessing, boundless grace, that we have all been able to gather here once again and sing His Nam Sankirtan with gratitude. We have offered His Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. We have been going through Leela after Leela after Leela of Bhagwan for nearly 2.5 years now. And every Leela fills us with new inspiration, new hope, and a newfound strength. Because we know now for sure that when we call out His name, His full name, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, there would be immediate help, guidance, and protection. What more do we need? That Bhagwan has permanently established Himself in His Divya Mangala Nama. And Bhagwan often said that He is Kalpataru. Just as we hear about Kalpataru in the Devaloka, where if you stand under that and ask for anything, it would happen, it would materialize immediately. And Bhagwan referred to it and said, now and then, yes, He is Kalpataru also, yet with a difference. This beggar would give you only what you need. He would not give you what you want if what you want will not suit you, will only invite trouble. What a gracious statement, what a gracious blessing. We need somebody who can decide things for us in our best interest. And that is our Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Recently, Srimati Meenakshi Amma of Bangalore has given a video of her experiences. I happened to see it only recently. She might have given it earlier. And we have also mentioned it before in one of the satsangs. It is worth recalling again, because every time when we recall a Leela, it fills us with a new strength. Meenakshi Amma says that one day, in the 80s, she and two of her friends went and stood outside the Sannidhi Street House at 12 noon. You can imagine how hot it should have been, and yet, undaunted, they were there, standing, waiting for Bhagwan to open the door. And Bhagwan did, yes. 15 minutes passed, nobody was coming to open the door, but suddenly Meenakshi Amma saw two youths of 16 years. They looked so beautiful, so handsome, and so full of Tejas. And they looked about 16, and they had a tuft on their head, and they very casually looked out. When she saw them, she felt overwhelmed, and she saluted with folded hands. And then they disappeared into the house. After that, she thought those two boys were probably staying with Yogi Ramsuratkumar, and that she would be able to see them once she was allowed. Of course, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, he came and opened the door. He saw these three waiting. He said, "Why have you come?" They said, "Swami, we have come to see you, to have your darshan." "Oh, you people have come to see this beggar. Okay, now you have seen this beggar, you can go." And then you closed the door and went inside. You can imagine their plight. Now Meenakshi Amma did not know what to do. But then she was determined. She decided that she would stay on, standing and waiting until you opened the door again so that she could spend some time with him. She was very sure of that, but her other two people who accompanied her were not. Yet she pushed ahead, waited, chanting the name, and true to her belief and hope, Bhagwan came and opened the door again. And then he said, "Come in." You can imagine how happy she should have been. And they went inside, and they were made to sit on the small veranda. Now where Meenakshi was seated, there was a lot of sand particles, dry and loose sand particles. She thought people should have walked over it and spread it like that, and she wanted to gather them together so that the flow would be free of it. And she vigorously began to do it. Now Bhagwan was alarmed. He said, "Stop it. What are you doing? Every grain that you see here is some Deva. They are all Devas. Don't do anything." Now, chastised, she immediately stopped it. She was also a little frightened. And then she began to wonder where those boys, those handsome, beautiful boys, were. She could not see them. Then she imagined that those boys must have been inside. The wooden door was closed. When she thought outside who they were, Bhagwan had already given her the reply. He said, "Every particle that you find here, every grain, is a Deva." But she didn't understand that she was already replied to. So she imagined that those two boys were inside. But then how to go inside? As though Bhagwan, of course Bhagwan knew what was running in her mind. So after some time, he took them inside. And of course, those boys were not to be seen there even then. Then when Bhagwan gave them leave, they went to the temple And the pujari was there, known to them. Then the pujari casually asked, "You have been to see Ramji Swami? What happened?" Now she came out with it. She said, "We saw two beautiful boys there. But then after we went inside, I could not see them. They were not on the veranda. They were not inside also. Who are they? Where were they?" Now as soon as the pujari heard it, he was stunned. He was stunned. He was unable to speak. And then he said, "Have you no idea who you have seen?" And then he said, "They are Rama and Lakshmana. I have heard people say that they visit him often, but nobody has ever seen before. You are the first one to report it." Now it was Meenakshi's turn to be stunned. Now Meenakshi went on to narrate another beautiful story. Her auntie, by name Kamala, was already coming to Bhagwan very often, and Bhagwan was fond of her. He used to address her as Yogi Kamala. She was deeply involved in spiritual practices, and once she went to Kashi. And there, before she left Kashi, she began to search for some shawl. But she wanted Ram Naam written on it. She went into many shops, all the time searching and searching, but every shawl had only Om Namah Shivaya. Naturally, because Kashi, Vishwanath is the ruling deity, Lord Shiva. So every shawl had only Om Namah Shivaya on it. Finally, tired as she was, and unable to find anything more, she settled on one of those shawls with Namah Shivaya. And after the Kashi trip was over, when she came to Bhagwan's Sannidhi Street House, they were all seated. Some of those people who came with her offered whatever they had brought to Bhagwan. Now Kamala was hesitant. She was thinking, Yogiji is given to Ram Naam, and I wanted to find one with Ram Naam, but all I could find was one with Namah Shivaya. Of course, to Yogi Ramsuratkumar Bhagwan, it did not matter at all, because he was beyond the beyond. He was beyond all the differences. Yet, Kamala, as she was, felt very unhappy and hesitant. But you see the Leela that Bhagwan played. Bhagwan said, "Kamala, Yogi Kamala, have you not brought anything for this beggar?" She said, "Yes, Swami, I have brought this shawl." And very hesitantly, she went near and offered it to him in her hands. Immediately, Bhagwan opened it very casually and put it around his shoulders. Now Kamala, Yogi Kamala, was seated already in her place and looked at him. And suddenly her eyes widened. Wide-eyed, she looked at Bhagwan, because where she saw Om Namah Shivaya in Kashi, now there was only Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Can you imagine? Om Namah Shivaya had become Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. She couldn't believe her eyes. In a fraction of a second, the whole thing had changed. You can imagine how her happiness should have been boundless. Now, why I narrated this story, and I'm going to narrate one more, to make this point that Bhagwan is Kalpataru. He would definitely fulfill our prayers if they are good for us. And he could do anything in a fraction of a time. Hadn't he said, this beggar can play football with the planets? Now we shall go to another scene. I have already shared this also with you people before, but it's worth recalling, especially in this context. Sridevi was pregnant with her third child. She already had 2 daughters. Now the third one was coming, and she desperately wanted a boy. And she knew that only Bhagwan could give her that, and she began to start her tapas. She kept on chanting and chanting and chanting, ceaselessly. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, all the time begging for a male child. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 8 months passed. Off and on, they had taken scan, and every time the doctors told her it was a female child. They said to her, get reconciled to it. What can you do? And these days the girls are more smart and they can do better jobs. So don't worry. Reconcile yourself to this. But she wouldn't hear of it. She went on saying, my Bhagwan, my Yogi Ramsuratkumar will give me what I want. I have faith, I have hope. And then she continued vigorously, rigorously, the chanting of Yogi Ramsuratkumar. And even just 1 hour before the delivery, they had taken one more scan, and the doctors reported again that it was a female child, and they wanted to prepare her for the coming of the female child, and again they tried to pacify her. But again she would not hear of it, she would not allow anybody to talk about it even, and she kept on chanting Yogi Ramsuratkumar, still hoping and hoping that her Bhagwan would not let her down. Just see the depth of faith, the depth of Bhakti. She was allowed inside the theatre, and then they started the cesarean. And it was local anesthesia, so she was very much aware of what was going on. And she continued, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, please give me a male child. And when they opened the uterus and took the child out, it was their turn to be stunned. The doctors could not believe their eyes, for it was a male child. How could this happen? Just 1 hour before, they saw a female child in the scan. Now their whole science has failed them. And then they understood the power of Sridevi's Bhagwan. Just see, in no time, the female child changed into male child. It is the Shakti of her Bhakti granted by the great power that is Yogi Ramsuratkumar. So Yogi Ramsuratkumar is truly Kalpataru. He is all-pervasive, all-knowing and all-powerful. Sarva-Shaktiman, Sarvagyan, Sarvavyapi. And he is our Kalpataru. And whatever we ask for with the depth of devotion and faith will surely be granted. It's nothing to him. A child's play. We shall now offer our today's prayer, knowing that there is nothing that Bhagwan cannot do, and every prayer submitted every time at his lotus feet in the powerful shrine will one day be answered, one day or the other, sooner or later. Bhagwan, we beg you again and again, 1,000,000 times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring peace, unity, and wash away all the differences between man and man and establish godliness, as you always talked about Ramarajya. The dawn of Ramarajya should be brought about only by you. Only you can do it. And we beg you again and again to establish harmony where there is disharmony, order where there is chaos, and peace where there is war. Bhagwan, only you can uproot all the negativities of the human mind which are responsible for today's world. We beg you again to reach out to all those people who have been suffering in different places, in different ways, and severely at that, and do the needful for them. We also beg you to bless all those unselfish people who have been working hard for the sake of the others. Please protect them. We beg you again to give a boost to our economy, and we pray and pray in all earnestness and intensity for unbroken remembrance of your name, for ceaseless chanting, knowing that no single nama goes waste. Every day, every time we keep repeating it because it is the truth. And the more and more you repeat the truth, the more and more it gets established and faster it gets materialized. And Bhagavan, we beg you again to bless us all to be sattvic instruments in your hands so that we could run our everyday life as an offering to you. Please bless us not to be caught by the snares of Maya. We seek that ultimate blessing for the ultimate state of being, the ultimate state of bliss, the bliss independent of any object or person. But then we need to be purified by your nama and seva and the practice of acceptance, so that we would be able to see your vibrant living presence everywhere in everything. And Bhagavan, please enable us to see your sankalpa behind all the happenings of life. And more importantly, even in the most disastrous sufferings of life, then we could see your hidden grace. We know that we have invited those sufferings by our past karmas, but compassionate and generous that you are, you put a blessing in it which sees to it that we don't move away from you in bitterness, but be pushed towards your feet, so that every adversity will turn into a blessing. Bhagavan, please bless us to be grateful to you all the time, even for the adversities of life. We also beg you again, for the sake of all the species of the cosmos, to get a lift to a higher plane. And finally, we seek to be free from the vicious cycle of births and deaths, from the deadly grip of the ego, from the tyranny of I and mine that rule our lives all the time, so that we be blessed with eternal living and eternal servitude to you, the eternal Supreme. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.